just like Maloo by Rachel Nibbs. Inspired by Tara Shannon's poem, Always Told I Was a White Girl. And now, Charlotte Andrewara awarded the Equity-Based Scholarship for the School of Indigenous Australian Studies at Charles Sturt University. Can we please give a round of applause for Miss Andrewara as she makes her way to the stage? I feel my legs turn to jelly as I begin to walk to the front of my school assembly. The feeling immediately turns ice cold as a grand total of 2 people, my brother and his best friend, put their hands together for my achievement. I have never expected everyone to completely understand why I, a white-looking Australian, would view myself as an Aboriginal just because of my family's background. But the silence in the small room screams at me, and I realise the absolute truth. No one accepts me for simply being me. I swear I almost hear crickets chirp as I shake the headmaster's hand and receive my certificate. Almost as soon as it's handed to me, I turn on my heel and rush back to my place in the audience. As I sit down, a wave of nausea runs through me, and I feel my face burn red with embarrassment. I stare at the floor, and the school assembly continues. After everyone has dispersed, I make my way to my locker with my head bowed. I hear footsteps approach me from behind, and I make the mistake of looking up. "Hey Charlotte, you do know what colour your skin is, don't you? You shouldn't be proud of that scholarship you're holding. Those blacks are a disgrace." 5 girls taunting. I know I shouldn't let their words get to me, but it's hard. It hurts. This isn't the first time I've been attacked like this, and they assume that just because my mum isn't Aboriginal, that automatically makes me white like them. But what they don't get is that I take after my father. Well, all except for the colour of my skin. My brother received that quality instead. "What? Do you want us to call you a boom?" A pain shoots through me like I've never experienced before. Without saying a word, I turn away and walk to class before I do something stupid like cry. "Hey Shah, wait up," Maloo calls out. I glance behind me to see my brother weaving his way through the end-of-school hustle to reach me. Facing the path again, I continue to walk, knowing he will eventually catch up. I feel a hand on my shoulder, causing me to stop. I look at him. "Are you okay?" I think about the silence, the footsteps, the names. Of course I'm not okay. Yet I still manage to keep my face straight and nod. We begin to walk home. Finally home. Away from the tormenting voices and the feeling of being misunderstood. The following weeks are torture. I receive blackmail from anonymous haters, but I can easily take a guess who it's sent by. I walk through the halls and hear whispers, feeling constantly paranoid that the topic of conversation is me, Charlotte, the girl who keeps to herself and never opens her mouth at school or says a word against others. Why me? What pushes me over the edge is what I see when I walk into school one morning. I stand facing my locker door, seeing but hardly believing what is right in front of me. Black spray paint, the colour stands out amongst the clean white plastic of the lockers surrounding mine. The messy paint spells one word, one name. I read it over and over again until it blurs and I can't see it anymore through my tears. I look up and watch as 5 faces I've come to hate look on in amusement. Ha! She's finally cracked it. I swivel around and nearly crash into Maloo, but he's quick to grab both my shoulders, which keeps me steady. As soon as he sees how much of a wreck I am, my brother takes me away, back to the safe place at home. He leaves me to cry into my pillow without questioning me or even telling me to stay strong. I don't see him after that. Charlotte? I hear my door open, but stay where I am, cocooned in my soft sheets. My parents enter. We need to talk. It's Maloo. We've just been told that he's in hospital due to an injury to the head. Apparently, he confronted 5 girls from your school, and he was threatening them, so they pushed him away. They said it was purely an act of self-defense. They thought he looked menacing because he was black. Your brother slipped and hit his head on the curb. We don't know how serious the injury is. They're trying to find out now if a vital nerve has been damaged. Do you know anything about these girls? I cave. I tell them about the constant bullying, the writing, the name. They ask me why I didn't tell them before, and I don't know why. Maybe it was because I wanted to be strong, like my father, like my brother. After I've calmed down, we travel in the car to visit Maloo, but he's unconscious, so we don't speak, and the room is dead quiet. I go home after 3 hours and fall asleep after another 2. Later, we receive a call. From then on, I could hardly bear to see those girls' faces at school. They aren't charged, but I know they're guilty. They still whisper behind my back, but I don't care anymore. So what if my brother had dark skin? It didn't make him any lesser human than anyone else at our school. He was the most loyal person I knew to exist in my world, kinder than any white man I'd ever known. The bullying never made me want to admit that I was a white Australian, and why should I be anyway, if that's the way they act? Although I can honestly say that it has taught me one thing, to be even more confident about my background like my brother was. I want to be just like him. Just like Maloo.